Hey guys, it's Brie. I finished Obelisk by M.K. Jemisin, and this is coming out this week. I'm super excited for you guys all to read it. It is absolutely fantastic. Thanks to Orbit for sending me a copy early. I'll link to the video of me opening it and basically screaming for 3 minutes. Because at the very least, it's a funny pick-me-up. This book picks up where the 5th season left off. It follows Esun, who is the main character. She's a woman who has the power to basically move the earth. She's what's called an origin, and she can sense the movement of the earth and kind of shift that movement, take that energy and power and use it to her will. She is surprisingly powerful and has kind of inadvertently helped set off one of the major problems of this universe, which is the 5th season. Basically an apocalyptic, kind of cataclysmic climate event where massive explosions are happening, the earth is no longer stable, there's ash everywhere, and everything seems to be falling apart. She suspects that this 5th season is about to last for thousands of years, and that humankind may in fact cease to exist. This book picks up with Esun on the road trying to find her daughter. Her daughter is also an origin and has been taken by her father, Jija, who killed their son when he found out what their son was. Also an origin. Along the way, Esun has kind of stumbled into this colony of people trying to survive the 5th season. And she winds up staying there for an extended period of time because she doesn't really have much choice. This book has a lot of the favorite characters from the last one. Alabaster is there, Hoa is there, Esun is there, and you have Shafa who reappears. And all of the drama that kind of was left off in the first book is picked back up. There are a couple of things that I was really impressed with. One, the book picks up in the thick of the action, but doesn't really feel like you've had the last book being put down for a while. It didn't feel like it had been a couple of months since I read the last book. The way Jemisin writes is really quick to pick back up with the action, but also with the world. She kind of has this way of jumping back into all of the world building that she's done very quickly, reminding you of things very, very fast without having that kind of lag or reintroduction that sometimes is needed. That made the book, I think, feel a lot faster. She also has a lot of really interesting things going on. One of the things that was really fantastic about the 5th season was the multiple perspectives, and this also has a multiple perspective story. You still have an occasional second person point of view, you have a first person point of view, and now we have this new perspective, which is that of her daughter. There's so much suspense in this. One of the things that was really interesting about the last book was the idea of the fulcrum, which is where origins occasionally are sent to be trained. They are either sent to the fulcrum and trained or kind of killed as children. And there's a whole complex structure around the fulcrum that includes a number of different structures meant to suppress the power of the origins, right? One of those being the guardians. And in this book, Esun's daughter has no idea really what the fulcrum is like, and so she stumbles into some of these pre-existing structures without knowing and without understanding the full extent of their danger. She doesn't really feel like her mother loved her, and when she sees these structures and it kind of clicks that this is what her mother grew up in, and this is why her mother behaved and trained her in specific ways, I think is an interesting moment. Especially because it still has that complicated, like, 12-year-old feeling of you don't necessarily forgive your parents even when you understand them. Oh my gosh, what's happening to Alabaster? want to tell you. Holy crap. Alabaster is in some deep trouble, and stuff with the Stone Eaters is getting underway. They are really prevalent for some mysterious reason in this colony that Esun is kind of stumbled into, and it's about to cause some trouble. That's all I'm going to say. Aside from that, I really liked that aspect of the story. I kind of saw where Jemisin was going with it, but it was so well done that it didn't matter that I kind of saw it coming. I was still really enthralled by what she was doing with the world building when it revolves around the Stone Eaters, and some of the things that we find out that happened to Alabaster, some of the things that we find out about the obelisks and the obelisk gate. It's a thing. It's super exciting. It's surprising how well foreshadowed some of the really intense moments actually are. Kind of trying to make those connections back, you can see really easily, okay, here's where she was talking about this in book 1. Here's how this has been leading towards this kind of culminating moment in Obelisk Gate. What's really going to be exciting, I think, is the next book. So the problem with the second book in the series is it's kind of getting you from A to Z. And I think Jemisin does that in a really good way. She's very, very well done at it. At the same time, it is still kind of that transition book. It's taking you to the real, true conflict. And she does a good job of building up to that. She kind of gives you the pieces and then hopes that you put that puzzle together on your own. And, you know, she's going to show you what happens, what that puzzle looks like when it's completed in the next book. And so I think the real joy of this book is that it does that job really, really well without losing pacing or entertainment value. Sometimes middle books just kind of lag, and I don't think that that is a really big problem in this particular book. In fact, I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for everybody else to read it too. So Obelisk Gate is out tomorrow. Go to the store and pick it up. You won't regret it. I hope you are having a fantastic reading week. It's, you know, it's only Monday, but I think it's going to be a good one. You know the drill. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.